Hey guys, my name is Scoby and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to fully set up and use your brand new Xbox Series S. This is going to be a nice, quick and easy tutorial. I'm going to be showing you everything you need to do to get your console up and running. Let's jump right into this. So the first thing we're going to be doing is, of course, unboxing and taking everything out of our Xbox Series S box that we need. The first thing we're going to be doing is opening this up, and we're going to be taking this console itself. For the moment, we can just put this to the side. The next thing we're going to be doing is going a little bit further into the back of the box, and we're going to be opening up this back sleeve right here. We're going to need a couple of things out of this. The first thing is going to be the actual power cable for our Xbox Series S. The next thing is going to be the included HDMI cable. Now, of course, you can use another HDMI cable if you would like. Of course, the one included here is a high quality one, so I would recommend using it unless you have something better. And then finally, on the right side of this back package, we should have our Xbox Series controller, and we're going to be needing that as well. Now, from this point, we're going to be taking our Xbox Series S and we're going to be plugging in a couple of cables. The first thing we're going to be doing is taking our power cable, and we're going to be plugging it into the back right side of our Xbox Series S. The next thing we're going to be doing is taking the HDMI cable, or any HDMI cable you want, and we're going to be plugging that into the HDMI out section of our Xbox Series S. With your power cable, you can then plug it into your wall or an extension lead, and then with the HDMI cable, you can plug that directly into your TV. I won't be showing that part for me because, of course, it's going to vary dramatically from TV to TV. Now, from this point, I will also mention about the controller. You may need to open up the back panel here to add some batteries inside. For me, I already have batteries in mine. However, you can feel free to use a battery pack as well if you already have one, but there should be batteries in the box that we can use for our controller. So you just need to open up this back slip and make sure it's working. From this point, we're going to be taking our Xbox Series S and we're simply going to be pressing the Xbox button on the front, and we're going to be turning on our Xbox. Now, this might take a couple of seconds and you can see on screen exactly what you should see on your TV during this process, and it didn't take too long for me. From this point, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be grabbing our controller, we're going to be putting it right next to our Xbox, and we're simply going to be pressing the power button. Now, for me, I didn't actually have to do any syncing process. This all worked automatically for me. However, if you are having any issues, there is a synchronization button on the top of your Xbox controller, the small little white button here that I show, and there's also an extra sync button on our Xbox Series S, the black button here right next to the front USB port. Now, from this point, you will have the option to set up your Xbox via the app. For me, I'm actually going to be skipping this step and I'm going to be continuing and doing everything directly on my Xbox. So the first thing you'll need to do from this point is actually select the language you would like to use for your Xbox. In this case, I'm going to be choosing English for mine, and then we're going to be going into the step of setting up and selecting a Wi-Fi network. Now, if you have an Ethernet cable and it's already plugged into the back of your Xbox, you actually can skip this step. You don't need to set up a wireless network, but if you don't, you will need to set up a wireless network in this case. Simply go through this list, select whatever your Wi-Fi source is, and then enter your Wi-Fi password. After you have fully entered your Wi-Fi password, it should take a couple seconds to confirm. Once you have this done, it'll say everything is good. Your console is connected to the internet. You can simply click the A button to continue, and then we have to select where we live. Now, in this case, you can just select whatever region you're living in. For me, I'm currently living in Belgium, so I'm going to be selecting Belgium here. Simply click A on your controller, and then it's going to check for updates. Now, in my case, it also had to download a language pack. This may vary for you. You might not have this, but in my case, I just had to click A and let my language pack download. This took a couple seconds, and then my console even restarted during this setup. Once my console had fully booted back up again, it just finished its updates, and then I got this Xbox controller button on screen. I then, of course, had to turn my controller back on so we could start continuing with this setup process. Now, from this point, after all this setup and update has been finished, I then had to sign into my Microsoft account. Now, you will need to do this step. You can just click A on your controller, and then here we can have the sign in option. We also have the option, if we come down a little bit, to use another device, get a new email, or forgot your account. Now, depending on what you need to do here, you can set it up. I already have a Microsoft account and an Xbox account, so I will continue. If you'd like to sign in on another device, that is a really nice option here. You can come down to use another device. If you don't actually have an account, we can simply come down here to the get a new email, and you'll be able to set up a brand new email here. Or if you forgot your account, you can set it up like that. Now, depending on what you want to do, you can set it up however you would like. For me, I'm actually going to be using it on another device. If we click this open, we'll be able to sign in via PC if we come to this microsoft.com/link, and then we will be asked to set up this code. Or if you want to continue back out to the previous step, you can use a controller instead. Now, of course, this step is going to vary depending on what you want to do and what your needs are, but this shouldn't be too much, and it just takes a couple minutes to set this up. Now, from this point, after you have logged in, you should get this loading screen. We should get our username and information on the top. Now we're going to have to enter and choose how we want Microsoft to enter our data and deal with a couple things. You can read through this if you want. For the most part, you need to agree to everything here. although they do try to offer you Xbox Live Gold from this point. You can accept or deny this depending on what you want to do. For the moment, I'm actually going to be saying no thanks to any of this stuff, and we just need to confirm through a couple of fields here. The next one is asking if you want to share your data with publishers. You can choose to do this if you want. In my case, I just click next here. You can then set up a sign-in and security preferences if you like. You can set up no barriers, you can ask for a passkey, and you can do whatever you want here depending on how you want to secure your accounts. For my case, I'm actually going to be doing a passkey, and here you can set up any 6-figure combination of buttons on your controller or any of the 10 available options that you can see on the right hand side of the screen. For me, this is totally optional depending on how you want to set up your Xbox. Personally, I like to set up a passkey for mine, and it will only affect the account you currently have logged in with, and you can change some settings on this a little bit later, of course, in the actual Xbox dashboard. From this point, you will then have the option to link a controller. I think this is a really nice feature. I will mention you can do this later in your dashboard as well. I actually have a full separate video I'll be putting a card on screen, although this will basically allow you to automatically sign in from your controller. So once your Xbox Series picks up your controller, it will automatically connect to it, and then you will instantly sign in. Of course, if you have a passkey, you'll have to enter that first, but I think this is a really nice feature, and it's definitely something I'd recommend checking out. Finally, they will offer you an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate for 3 months for €1. In my case, I decided to skip this, at least for the moment, but you have the option to sign up for this if you would like. We then have to choose our time zone. In my case, it actually picked it up automatically. I also wanted to set up a 24-hour clock, so I set that up here. We then get to choose the power settings for our console. We can either do it on energy saving or instant on. I actually like the features of instant on, so I decided to keep this. We then have to decide if we want to keep our games up to date. Again, I would recommend leaving this on by default. And then finally, we can set up and find the best settings for our TV. For this case, I decided to continue, and it will instantly decide if it should be in 4K or what other resolution it should decide. So for me, I just kept it at the 4K display resolution, and that was perfect for me. Finally, it will say, let's go. You're all set up, you're ready to start playing your Xbox. We can go directly to our homepage, and we can see just like that, we have fully logged in and set up our Xbox Series X. We're ready to start playing, downloading, buying games, whatever else you want to do. Anyway guys, it's that easy to set up and start using your brand new Xbox Series S. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, check out the other videos on the channel. Until next time guys, as always, keep it saucy, peace.